Hello? Okay, great. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Richard Jardine. I'm from Essatto Software. I'm here with my director, Anthony Lepore, and I'm here to show you today how you can add value to your existing Odoo install. Or if you're an Odoo partner, broaden your Odoo business offerings with Essatto. So I'll keep moving through. So what is Essatto? So Essatto is an an end-to-end data management solution with 6 key functions that allow you to combine data from multiple sources, produce dashboards and reports, produce comprehensive budgets and forecasts, and also it makes your multi-company and multi-currency consolidations easy, and managing your hierarchical structures easy as well. It also includes a security layer and a scalable database. Okay, so can you currently analyse all of your business data, including all of the data that is not stored in Odoo? Essatto enables you to import data from multiple Odoo databases, companies or modules. It also enables you to blend your data, blend your Odoo data, with data from other operational in-house data sources, and also cloud sources like Google Analytics or Mongo database, as well as Essatto's comprehensive budgeting and forecasting tools. Again, the data is all stored centrally in a secure and scalable data warehouse, which is included as part of the solution. So Essatto basically allows you to take data from sources like Odoo and very quickly produce dashboards and reports for your clients. Okay, so Essatto also includes fast connectors for Odoo. You can accelerate your time to value with pre-built connectors because they don't do just connect to Odoo. They also support end-to-end data management and include everything that you need to get you started quickly from data connection all the way to dashboards. Okay, so this is a sample that blends Odoo data with data from other key business sources. So for example, the quote analysis that you can see in the top left-hand corner there blends Odoo accounting data with key metrics that we've captured via the Essatto Excel Addin. The lead conversion, we're comparing website data, website hits, visits, etc. that we've captured using Google Analytics with a number of people visiting our stores. And the margin variance and the margin summary that you see in the bottom right and left, they blend Odoo sales data and Odoo accounting data with budgets that we produced using Essatto Fast Budgets. So why? Because empowering your users to analyse all of their business data will get them thinking about their business in new ways, which will lead to better business decisions. Dashboards and reporting. So do your users frequently need Odoo customisations or assistance to get the reports and dashboards they need for data analysis? What if they could do most of their data analysis by themselves? And how would that change their ability to improve their business decision making? Okay, so I'm going to jump into a demo at this stage, and I'm going to show you some of the dashboards that are included out of the box with Essatto Fast Connectors, and I'm also going to show you how to create a report and dashboard. Okay, I'll just minimise this so I've got a little bit more space. Okay, so you're looking at the Essatto web browser interface. This is the visualise section, and I've got open currently the accounting dashboard. So this is populated with data from Odoo accounting, and there's a sales dashboard as well, which I'll show you in a moment. But you basically get some key visualizations, for example, this profit and loss trend, this net, move around a little bit, this net sales variance that you can see there, and your top customers and your top products. Most of the charts you get are interactive, so I can do things like filter down to just and expenses by net profit view. I can also filter the information by company, for example. So I'm going to have multiple companies in there, analytic account, account, and various time periods. You get supporting tabs as well. So I've got an executive view here where I've got some sales variance information, for example, some key metrics, and you can see that I'm comparing things like my actuals to my budget or my plan and my prior year data. Toggle across to sales. Let's just have a look at the variance report quickly first. So this is based on Odoo sales data, and you get a drillable view either by product, salesperson or customer, and you can filter, or your end user can filter this report by dollars, your cost of goods sold, your margins, quantities or prices. You can see that I've got actual data, prior year data and the plan, and it works by just simply clicking on it. So filtering down to the next level of detail in terms of my product categories, and I keep drilling until I find the variance that I'm interested in. So you can see for this particular product line, my actuals are much lower than what we achieved last year and much lower than what we expected to achieve for the plan. While I've been drilling, there's also an interactive table that's been drilling to the same level of detail, which just gives me some additional information around year-to-date balances and the variances associated. So you don't need to necessarily drill down into these charts to find variances. You can actually set up exception reports in Essatto that will find the variances for you. So this particular exception report is bringing back for me my top 20 clients, and of those top 20 clients, which products they haven't purchased in the last 3 months, but they have purchased previously. So I can see for this particular customer, for this particular product line, these are the revenues that were achieved over the year. For the last 5 months, they haven't purchased the product though, which is why it's come up on the exception report. And these were the revenues that we achieved previously and the margins associated. So my sales team can then go back to the client and ask some of the questions why. So I want to show you how to create a report now. Just go to new, create a new report. Okay, so we've loaded up 2 subject areas into this demo. We've got sales information and accounting information from the Fast Connect. And in terms of the cubes that I can select from, I've got balances from Odoo, I've got journals from Odoo, I've got Google Analytics visits, and I've also loaded some information from Mongo. Let's choose this one. Okay, so that's going ahead and creating that report for me. On the right-hand side is your report canvas. In the middle is your report layout, so what you want in the row, what you want in the column, and the measures that you want to choose. So your measures are basically your data. In this example, I'll bring across these scores. Okay, so the scores represent the New York City Health Department restaurant scores. The higher the score, the worse the restaurant. So let's just filter this in a little more detail. I'll start by bringing boroughs across. Now boroughs are locations like the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, etc. You can see that the scores are pretty even across the board. I'll then filter by cuisine. So the types of restaurants. And you can see there's now quite a lot of data here. So I'll now filter this down. I can see that from where I am. And I'll choose a visualization of a column chart just to make it a little bit easier to filter the information and see, well, basically easier to analyze it. Okay, so there's a couple of high points here. One is Afghan cuisine and the other is Pakistani. So I'll filter that in a little more detail so it's easier to find what I need. And I'll just drag the cuisine tile onto my multi-chart onto my multi-chart. Okay, so the system's now gone ahead and filtered by cuisine in more detail, so I can see if I mouse over Afghan, that Brooklyn is probably not a place where I'd want to eat Afghan food, but Manhattan's pretty good. I'll just undo that and show you another way to filter. So just click on my cuisine tile, choose filter, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to Pakistani. There we go. Okay, so in this example, the Bronx, you probably don't want to eat Pakistani there. You probably want to get it from, in this example, Brooklyn. Okay, so that's an example of a report. I'm just going to show you how to create a dashboard. So I wanted to make this interactive for you guys, but it's a little hard to operate both things at the same time. I'm just trying to find my dashboard wizard tab. Oh, the top of the screen's not there. I'm going to have to push on. If anyone's interested, I'll quickly show you how to create a dashboard after this session. Works exactly the same way, except these reports that you create, you just drag and drop from the left to the right. I can do it on my laptop, but the way the screen's shared is a little bit back to front. Otherwise, I'd be standing over there. Let me just go back to my presentation. Okay, so that was reports and dashboards. Okay, so I showed you how easy it was to create a report. I can show you the dashboard offline. It's just as easy. It's just drag and drop. BI and dashboard and reporting is only one part of what you get with Essatto. You also get all of these other functions. So the ability to connect and combine to multiple data sources, the budgeting and the forecasting, the hierarchy management, as well as all the data security. Okay, so with hierarchies, so for any use case where you need to group and consolidate data, Essatto hierarchies make the process quick and easy. Some examples include multi-company and multi-currency consolidations, combining multiple charts of account to produce consistent group reporting, and as well as all your quick and easy management against structures like account, analytic account, products and customers. Okay, so I'm going to show you an account hierarchy in Essatto and how you can maintain that, a company hierarchy, as well as creating a new product hierarchy for you guys. So I'll just toggle across to the demo again. Okay, so what I did want to show you quickly was just how to create a new report that uses a product hierarchy. So you can see how a hierarchy is used in action. So I'm just going to toggle across to my sales subject area, pick my sales cube. Again, this is all fed with Odoo data, this particular cube. I've got a lot of pre-calculated measures here, so they give me things like actual dollars, month to date, year to date, last year, cost of goods, all those sorts of things. They come as part of the Fast Connect for Odoo, but you can build all of these things yourself as well. I'll bring across actual dollars, just do that by double clicking. We'll filter down to product, so I'll bring in the top level first, which is all products. And again, and maybe another level there. I'll just keep food, so just right click there, keep only the food levels, and I'll bring in my lowest level of detail now. Okay, so We've got a lot of product-based sales information we're seeing now. If you change any of these categories, the parent categories that you see here will automatically be updated as well in terms of the balances. You don't need to run any separate batch processes for consolidation or anything like that. It all happens real time. So once the data's refreshed from your source systems or the end users submit changes, any users who've got access to this information will automatically see these new totals being calculated. Essatto is also not just two-dimensional, as per this view. I can bring across years, for example. So I'm now looking at a view over time, and I can also bring in customer information if I want to as well. Okay, so we're now looking at all of those product categories split up by customer over time. And again, if any of these hierarchical structures change, be it the product hierarchy that we're looking at or this customer hierarchy, or for whatever reason you change your time hierarchy, these totals are automatically recalculated. Just going to jump to the maintain hierarchy section. So it's under this data area. And I'll click on maintain hierarchy. It's all point and click. So I go to accounting. I'm going to pick up an account, the account dimension, and I'll just move across again so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so Essatto has the ability to have multiple hierarchies per your dimension. So on the account dimension, you can see I've got a number of financial related structures, profit and loss, balance sheet, etc. What we're looking at now is a structure that you would use for group reporting in terms of profit and loss. So I'm just going to drill into this. EBIT, drill into gross margin. Okay, so for each of these categories, income, for example, net sales, etc., I'll be able to report at this level of detail consistently across multiple companies that may have disparate charts. So in this example, we're looking at sales codes that relate just to company 1, for example. So to bring in company 2's chart, I simply search, type in what I'm searching for. So I wanted anything that contained 41, so I've got these 2 sales accounts, so excuse me. And I just drag and drop them from left to right where they need to go. It's as simple as that. So the next time we report, our end users, when they look at income, whether it's at an individual company level or at a group company level, that income figure is going to contain sales accounts from multiple charts. I'm going to show you how to create a new one, and that'll give you an idea of how the account hierarchy is created. But yeah, I'll do that in just a moment. So, but the hierarchy exists in Essatto. Okay, so for the company dimension, so in terms of doing multi-company consolidations, I've got 2 companies in this example. You could have as many as you like. They're consolidating into an all companies before eliminations total, and then we've got eliminations, and then we've got all companies. But you could create as many categories as you like and add as many companies. Just go across to product. So this is the structure that we were drilling against earlier on. Okay, now I'm just going to recreate a section of this hierarchy. So I just go create, just give it a name. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and create that hierarchy for me. I'll just toggle across to it. Okay, so my new hierarchy is empty at the moment, and I populate it in the same way. So I just choose the content that I need from the left and drag it across to the right. So I'll just do that quickly. Okay, so it's as easy as that. You basically just search for what you need on the left and drag and drop it onto the right. And when this information consolidates, these leaf level products will add up into this one, and so on and so forth. Obviously, I don't have time to recreate the entire hierarchy, but that's basically the process. So that's hierarchies. Okay, budgets. Find my place. Okay, so with fast budgets, well, basically business data can include thousands of products, customers, accounts, analytic accounts with potentially many millions of data points. And many companies obviously don't budget at this level of detail because of the time and effort required, but this results in budgets with much less detail and then much less business value. So a major downside of budgeting at a summary level is that as your actual results become available, any variance analysis of actual to budget is not detailed enough to provide quick answers to the questions why, and also any business-specific factors such as seasonality are not considered. So the fast budgets allow you to produce budgets with the same comprehensive detail as your actuals without the time and effort required to do it manually. And you can easily create multiple scenarios too, or multiple what-ifs, so expected, best case, worst case, for example. And as demonstrated earlier, all of that information is available via the BI layer. So I'm going to create a budget quickly for you. Let's talk about Studio. Let's excel that in. Okay, so just go back to here. All right, so I've got in the system at the moment, nearly done? Oh. So I've got in the system at the moment actual data from last year. I want to use that as the starting position for my budget worst case. So I'm going to go to the fast budget section. Okay, so I've got a number of what-ifs that I created previously. So you can do things like, for best case, we started by using last year's actuals as the starting position. We increased sales by a percentage. And then we increased quantities for certain product lines and certain customers by a specific percentage for the last half of the year. But I'm going to do my worst case budget, and I'm going to create that based on last year's data. So your fast budgets have got a description, and they've got a number of different copy types that you can use. So you can copy, you can adjust, you can replace, etc. And in summary, this is going to take the actuals from, it's going to take your actuals, copy them to your new budget scenario using data from last year and copy it into the budget scenario. So just run this. Can't see. I've lost my mouse. Okay, so that's done. If I go back to my report, just quickly refresh it. We should find that all of my actual data at the same level of detail as my budgets has now given us a starting position for our worst case budget. And if I drill into this, so I'll just bring across a couple of levels, you can see that all the data has been copied to the same level of detail. Okay, so the Excel add-in. So we've got quite a lot of experience in creating, working with customers to help improve their multi-user and budgeting and forecasting processes. And we often find that these processes are very labour intensive. They're subject to human error, and many parts of the process are also subject to Keyman risk, where a single person holds basically all the knowledge about how the budget's calculated. Managing a budget process is with multiple users, each with different responsibilities and data security requirements, can also be difficult, but Essatto makes this much easier. And being able to run a budget effectively requires user collaboration and the ability to submit, review and iterate the budget many times, which is also difficult, and which is why a lot of businesses don't do it many times or not at all. So Essatto Addin allows your customers to make this process simpler and easier and less prone to errors. And I'm just going to give you a look at that now. So I'm going to run through these two things. Okay, so I'll just open the Essatto Excel add-in. Okay, so this is an Essatto budget input worksheet. You can see there's an Essatto ribbon at the top, if I can get to it. There we go. There we go. So there's a number of different options here, including the ability to submit and refresh. This particular worksheet is for operating expenses, so it's by account, excuse me, over time, by analytic account, by company, by customer, by product. You can have multiple values on here depending on what your requirements are, and multiple what-if scenarios. This is a dollar-based forecast, so we're inputting dollars here, but you can just as easily set up input sheets for quantities, for prices, to calculate your dollars. And you can also capture information that might only be stored in your user spreadsheets. For example, the number of people who are walking through the doors at our store. So I'm just going to update this budget. This green area that you see has been flagged for write back. So this will write back directly to the Essatto warehouse. And when I submit the data, it will actually update all the reports in the system at all the required levels of detail. So I'll be changing this freight number to a higher value, and that's for company one, but our group company total will also be updated to reflect that automatically without having to run separate consolidation processes, etc. So I'll just do that. Actually, before I do that, I'll just change a number in the dashboard so that you can see the change flow through. Run out of time. Okay, I'll just wrap it up then. So I basically input my number, I click the submit button. I can show you guys this offline. I've obviously run out of time. I've had a bit of issues with getting my screen going, but I'll just wrap it up in terms of summarising this. Okay, so security. I can talk about this with you guys offline, but there's a comprehensive and extensive security layer there where you can manage the distribution of all your reports and your dashboards, all of your Excel worksheets, and you can also centrally manage the access to all of your data, no matter where it's come from. Okay, so in summary, Essatto is not just a BI tool, and it's not just a data connector. It gives you these 6 functions, which include the ability to bring in data from multiple sources, produce dashboards and reports, produce comprehensive, collaborative, multi-user budgets and forecasts, multi-company consolidations in the form of hierarchies, as well as obviously being able to manage your customer product hierarchies, etc., and a secure and scalable data warehouse that's included as part of the solution. Thanks very much for attending today, and sorry about all the issues that I've had through the demo, and thanks to the Odoo team for hosting this. If you did have any questions or you want to see us after the meeting, feel free to do so. We also have a free trial, hosting options and a partner program available. That was it. Thank you.